Good morning, everyone. Today is August the 30th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. My name is Anne-Marie Band, and we have got ourselves a two-way tape. Take a look at this. Literally piano keys. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But first it was down and then up. Now, Fridays tend to be bullish. A couple of reasons. They tend to be bullish at the end of the month in a formation like this. One, everybody contributes to their 401k, and that sort of action sort of permeates through the first couple of days, the end of the month, the first couple of days into the following month, unless we've got ourselves very negative formation. So my suspicion is dips are buy zones today. The problem is they're only buy zones into resistance. Take a look. Yesterday, if you happen to be on Top Step TV yesterday, you'll note that several of us were talking about this 5665 area as the top end. Didn't even get there, actually. It got to 5663.75. And so that topping formation is very likely to hold. Pardon me. And so that's really what we're looking at there. At the time that this actually breaks out, it would have been basing for so long that it's going to chase sellers out of the market into the value area high, probably 30 points higher. Though, again, as I have been saying for quite a while, I do not think we see higher levels. I just don't. But that's just a supposition. How will I be wrong? We see higher levels. And then the first pullback that gives us a higher low, holding that 5646 area, that's going to be the next breakout zone. Okay, so 5607, nice clean line in the sand there for the pullback. It's got a fair amount of support, and then below that, probably 5600, 5598. 50 maybe. That's my thought. Pullbacks are buy zones, right? Now let me show you what I mean by a two-way tape. Here's the hourly formation, and I am going to, of course, remove the fib sequences because we need brand new ones. This is the opening hour candlestick, but look at yesterday in terms of a two-way tape. Down and then up, and then down. Right? It climbed all morning long, it got to this zone about the 5660-ish area, and it began to stall out. Here is something very, very important. If you're looking at price analysis and you see, first of all, a lot of wicks starting to show up at the top of a range, even though it's closing higher, your eyeballs need to be focused on the first candlestick that closes lower, and then start looking for a breakdown from that formation. And you can see it right here. Straight up, pull back, and then as soon as it loses that 5650 area, it went straight down. Now, I do not know if this was something that happened in the market. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter the why, it's the how that will show you what price action is actually doing. Okay? And so it starts printing underneath that hull. You know, the first thing it's going to do is come into the VWAP. The next thing it's going to do is come into these value areas. All right, hang on and let me draw the fibs. All right, so here we go with our fib analysis. We can see that opening range sits right here. We're sitting at the top of this 5637. Take a look. See all the moving averages going up? See the sideways formations? See those higher lows? This is going to break north and try to climb up this candlestick, all right, as it sits. If they sit here sideways, 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 I believe we have an event coming today. Is it PCE? Let's see. Yes, personal income and outlays, Chicago PMI, and consumer sentiment. We might have a little bit of quiet price action before there, but clearly waiting on these zones. Whichever way it breaks, it could break hard, so don't stand in front of it. Let it break and then collapse into tiny time frames to chase the formation. And just realize if you chase it up, or down, you're going to find clear support or resistance. Whichever way you go, it's going to find buyers or definitive sellers because we're trapped in a wider range, okay? But the sideways formation says at this juncture, dips are buy zones and spikes are sell zones. So I am looking for the edges to build some very solid trades today, all right? Let's go to the NQ. Start with the daily. Again, a two-way tape. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Maybe we get two candlesticks up, but clearly you can see that these things are caught between moving averages. Are we making higher lows? Yes. Are we above the close of the prior day? Yes. That means buyers are trying to push price into and through the resistance area. Point of control 19,624 and then 786. That's what we're looking at right here. And if we fade, here's heavy congestion that we caught. Do we want to say we caught it yesterday? I don't know if we caught it yesterday, but wow, the open of the candlestick of August the 15th was that low, 19,138 and some change, or the open of that framework was the low of yesterday, thereabouts. Sideways volume and price by trend formations, but still fairly bullish, right? So pullbacks, buy zones, but only into resistance. Let's take a look at the hourly formations. Coming right up into the 2618, hitting it 3 times in a row. Look at this. You see these moving averages? Buyers are below. Your best shot at getting a trade that's going to work out for you is waiting for the pullback. This is yesterday's VWAP into that 19,511, 19,520. It gives you something into 19,550, and you take your profit and wait for the next setup. Now, if you are the kind of person that enjoys staying in the trade and being in the trade around trend, then cut your position in half and, reload at 19,500, right? Now, we've got all this news coming out, going to be news heavy. Could it collapse into 19,405 and below? Absolutely. Absolutely. No reason we shouldn't have another day that's a two-way tape. So be very careful. See money, take money. Don't hold for the big swings. All right, here we are with the YM. Let's go to the day first. The YM, look at the trend, right? This trend line up. It's doing much, much better. The dollar is still choking around a little bit. I have to say, I don't know what I have to say about this. We are making higher lows and higher highs in the Dow. That's all I can say there. Could we get to a brand new high? Sure, why not? Right? I mean, why not? Here we are, straight up in the range, almost, and here's this contract, almost here at the top of this edge, 41,672. Who knows? Why not? I mean, that is very bullish. It's very, very bullish. Here is the bigger price pattern in this range up here if we look at the weekly. So how do we trade the days? Well, the last couple of days, it's had a pretty good dip and then turned around and just ran like a stinking rocket. Okay? And so now, this is what we're looking at. Am I above the close of the prior day? Yes. Am I above the high of the prior day? No. Am I waiting on news? Yes. Do I have trend that's upside? Yes. So that means buy the dip. Okay? And if I look at my hourly chart and we draw in our Fibonacci's, what we can see, take a look underneath. You see the volatility bands right here. They are expanding to the upside. Trend up, trend up, trend up. Big wicks. So wait for the dip. Value area high, 41,400. That's going to be a key buy zone. 41,490, also a key buy zone. And then you can look to the upside. Could these numbers that are coming in give us another price action move like we saw yesterday? Absolutely. So what do you want to do? Don't be in the market when these numbers come out. They are going to move. Volume has been very light across the board. Traders are waiting for something. All right. Upside, 41,580, 41,640, and then, you know, the all-time high, 41,688. Looks like we maybe tested higher here in some sort of price action that the daily is not seeing. That's very weird. All right, pullbacks or buy zones. Ideal pullback would put us in a great big sideways patch over here at 4140. I would say if you have an order waiting at the number, I mean, let it be an absolute cheapie. Go all the way down to deep support and wait, because we have no idea, not 41,500. Just give it a little bit of time and energy and see what happens, right? VWAP 41,300. That actually might be better. Okay, let's take a look at SPY. For those of us that do not trade the futures, we can see that we're also a little bit landlocked. Let's look at the date. Look at this formation. Value area high 561, value area low 557. Right? This 562.50 area is a number that I said, hey, listen, this is going to be resistance. Look at how resistance works sometimes. Gets to resistance, continues to press up. Pulls back, gets to resistance, continues to press up, and then all of a sudden it collapses. Now, if you see motion like this, where this is known resistance, and we collapse, and we start making lower highs, the bounce after that first lower low is going to give you a sell zone with a very limited risk event, a cheap short. And that's going to keep you on the trade early, but it will also get you out of the trade with nothing but, you know, a paper cut if you're paying attention to the formations. All right, let's go to the daily. What we can see, sideways action, up, down, sideways, down, up. What do we got? Just a mess. Okay, so upper edges 565, still the target area for another collapse. I do believe that we are in a sideways formation longer term. Pullbacks into 553, they look pretty good. Bounces into 565 also look pretty good. 565 for the short, 553 for the long. If we break either of the ledges, get out quickly. Give yourself just a little bit of room and then reset. Watch for price action either to recover and move back into the range or expand, and you can take it in the other direction. This 30 that is sideways right here on the day suggests to me that I have opportunities to pull back into the point of control all the way down at 545. When? I have no idea. For the Qs, here's the daily. Flag pattern. Bullish formation, right? Here's the flag. So this flag pattern says, how do we make that happen? So this flag pattern says, hey, if I break out and get above my 479, I will trend into potentially 485 to 493. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Where do I think the top of this range is? 485. Max. What's happening here? Am I making higher lows? Yes. What does that mean? It means buyers are in the market. What are they trying to do? Get over this candlestick right here. This candlestick of relative doom, as it were. So if we close over 476 today, when we go into the week, next week, we've got a brand new month and a brand new week. We are not, I'm not doing any videos on Monday. Even though the futures will be open for part of the day, I'm going to take the day off and get myself geared up for the last 4 days, or the follow-up 4 days in September. September and October are notoriously difficult months to trade, and so we're just going to be at the ready, okay? We're going to be at the ready, looking for some volatility expansion in whatever ways that we go. If we go to the hourly chart, we can see, look at this mess. What does this tell you? Here's what it should tell you. Hey, I'm going to look for shorts up here at 478. I'm going to look for longs way down here at 465. And if it's in the middle, I can do whatever I want, but I'm going to have expanded risk. That's all it's telling us. All right. Good luck trading today, everyone. I'll be on the Benzinga Options Show today. We're going to have our first Zoom that we've had all week on Friday from 11:30 to 12:30. And if you're interested, you can see me on Top Step TV from 2 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern for Strategy Lab, where we break down price approximations and clean ways to build strategies and set up trades. Take care, everyone. I'll see you on the platforms.